Now let's take a look at the Frank Gambale style, which is focusing on picking every note. So no hammer-ons and pull-offs this time. So the same thing, focusing on synchronosity of the two hands and starting slow, working your way up to speed, focusing on cleanliness of the playing, make sure that the notes are ringing clearly. So let's take the first shape, starting with two strings, no hammer-ons and pull-offs. So let's do this. So as you can see, I'm doing down, down, up, up. You can easily, once again, you can easily do this with alternate picking. Down, up, down, up, down, up. But since we're practicing sweep picking, this is also the transition stage, the two string, the transition portion of the sweep picking pattern, transitioning from ascending to descending. This is what we need to practice. So down, down, up, up, down, down, up, up. So let's do that. Or you can start with up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So same thing with the previous type with hammer-ons and pull-offs. We're using just minor, A minor or A minor 7 arpeggios for the example, for the demo of this video. And you can use any, I'll leave that up to you to explore the major 7 arpeggios, dominant and the diminished arpeggios. But we're just using minor 7 for this video. So that's the 2-string shape. Let's take a look at the 3-string shape this time. Same thing, you start with an up, down, then down, down, up, 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 down, 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 up, up, up. So before I continue, the Frank Gambale style rule is that you can also find this in his video. He says that if you want to continue the motion of the downstroke or upstroke, you use odd number of notes, and if you want to change the direction, you just use an even number of notes. So that's why in the outer strings we're using 2 notes so that we can change direction from up to down or from down to up. So for example, we're using down, down, down. On the last string we use up two notes so that we can do a down, up, then we're ready to do a consecutive upstroke for the descending portion. So 2 notes, up, then up again, then another 2 notes for the D string, so that we can transition from down to up, the transition stage, ascending, descending. Excuse me. So that's the 3-string shape. I'll just play slowly. Start slow, gradually work your way up. Let's take a look at the 4-string shape this time. Similar shape to the previous influence. So this one is a little bit tricky because we don't do hammer-ons and pull-offs this time. So we're gonna do up, down for the first string, then down, down, down. Here we can choose to do an upstroke, then proceed with an upstroke for the rest of the strings. But it gets tricky with finger movements. So we can actually add additional notes to the transition string, which is the high E string. We can play 4 notes, even number of notes, so that we can still do the transition from down to up. So up, down, 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 down. So let's add 3 more notes to make it 4 for the high E string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the picking is down, up, down, up. Then you're ready to do an upstroke for the rest of the string. So you can do that or just do 2 strings or 4 strings. It's up to you. I prefer to do that so that I can do this diagonal shape from ascending and descending. So it's more comfortable for me, but you can do either way. So you can do just this, or you can do this. So just following the rule of Frank Gambale, if you want to continue down, then use odd number of notes per string. If you want to change direction from down to up or up to down, even number of strings in that string where you want to change the direction from ascending to descending. I hope I'm making sense. If you're confused, then watch Frank Gambale's video. Let's take a look at 5 strings this time. So let's take this shape. So I'm starting here, and this is the usual shape that we do. So the last E string or the high E string already has 2 notes, so it prepares me to do an upstroke or change direction. Down, up. Now I need to add a second note for this string for me to transition from up to down. So I'm going to use the minor 7 to do that. Transition from up, down. Okay, I'm going to do it slowly. So again, start slow, then work your way up to speed. Whoops, it gets tricky. Because of the exclusion of hammer-ons and pull-offs, you need to like really arrange the notes properly. So right, so I'm doing the same finger technique for this because it's in the same fret. So that's the tricky part. So you can do like a major 6 to get a Dorian sound. Let's try that so that the frets of these 2 notes will be different, so that you can use different fingers. Okay. You can do that, so that's an option if you want. So that's 5 strings. Let's take a look at the 6 strings. So the same thing, 2 notes on the outer string so that we can change direction. So let's start with here. Okay, again. Sorry, I got confused. Sometimes when you slow things down, we get confused. So it's harder to play it slow than to play it fast. So let's do that again. So that's the pattern. So alright, so that's the Frank Gambale style of sweep picking. No hammer-ons and pull-offs, all pick notes, odd number of notes per string if you want to continue the direction, and even number of notes per string to change direction. And start slow, start with 2 strings, work your way up to 6 strings or the maximum number of strings in your guitar. If you can't sweep 6 strings, if you can't sweep 2 strings, then don't expect to sweep 6 strings. So start with a minimum amount of number of strings to sweep, and start from there and work your way up 3 strings, 4 strings, 5 strings, all the way to 6 strings, and make sure your 2 hands are in sync and you're playing all the notes cleanly. So I guess that's it, and we'll talk about subdivisions, sweep picking subdivisions in 16 notes and in 16 note triplets, maybe on the next video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you can get the sweep picking technique. That's it, thanks.